Okay, so today we're going to be working on common factors of a polynomial. What I'm going to do for you guys here is factor a binomial, a trinomial, and a trinomial with two different variables. So first off, let's start with that binomial. So what we're going to work with today is 3g plus 6. Okay, so what we're going to do first, just do the step by step, we're going to separate these terms. So we're going to separate them into 3g and 6. We're going to write them as a product of prime factors. So 3 times g, 3 is already a prime number, and then we're going to multiply it by g. Okay, 6 we can break up into 2 and 3. So we're going to go ahead here. We can see that the only thing common between these two is a 3 and a 3. So what that means is we're going to pull out a 3 outside of the brackets, and inside we're going to have to do some work here. So for 3g, we're going to do 3g divided by 3. The 3's are going to cancel, and all we're left with is the g that's going to go up here. Okay, now the next one we're going to do is 6 divided by 3, which is going to equal 2. So then we're going to bring the positive 2 up here. So this is our final factored form. Okay, so 3g plus 6 is equal to 3 times g plus 2. Okay, now moving on. For the trinomial, we are going to be doing 6 minus 12z plus 18z squared. Okay, now we're going to do the exact same thing we did up there, just with 3 terms. So here we're going to have 6, 12z, and 18z squared. Okay, so 6 we know from above is going to be 2 times 3. Now 12 we know to be 2 times 2 times 3. Also, we have to make sure that we bring this variable here. So times it by z there. Okay, and now 18 we know to be 2 times 3 times 3. And then we also have to worry about this z squared here. So that's going to translate to z times z. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at what's common between these ones here. So you can see here we have a 2 in the 6, a 2 in the 12z, and a 2 in the 18z squared. What else do we have? Well, we have a 3 in the 6, a 3 here in the 12z, and a 3 down here in the 18z squared. And that's pretty much all we can take out of there. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring one set of these common factors out. So 2 times 3. That's going to equal 6. So that means with our original equation right here that we can do 6 bracket, and now we start doing our side work. So 6 divided by 6, pretty easy there. That's going to be a 1. So we bring our 1 down here. Now we have negative 12z divided by 6. So negative 12 divided by 6 is going to be negative 2. And then we bring our z. Okay, now our last one here is going to be 18z squared divided by 6. We know 18 divided by 6 is 3. And we still have that z squared left over, so we're going to tack that on the end. And that's all you have to do for there. So all we're saying is 6 times 1 minus 2z plus 3z squared is equal to 6 minus 12z plus 18z squared. Okay, now for the last one we're going to do here, we're going to use two variables. So we're going to do, let's change our colors again. Let's do negative 20 c to the 4 d minus 30 c cubed d squared minus 25 cd. Now I know this looks really intimidating, but I promise it's not that hard. Okay, so let's start with 20 here. So 20, we know that's 20c4d we know is going to be, well, let's remember here. So 20 is going to be 2 times 2 times 5. Now, this c to the power of 4, we can break up into c times c times c times c. Okay, and then all we have left over is that d on the end. Okay, our next term here is 30c cubed d squared. Okay, now we know this to be 2 times 3 times 5. We're going to times by c times c times c times d times d. Now our last term here we're going to work with is 25cd, which we know to break up into 5 times c times d. Okay, now let's get to work. We can see here that there is a 5 right there, and it's shared between all three of the terms. So we know we can do a 5. Now can we take another 5? Let's look. There's not another 5 in this line for the 30c cubed d squared, and there's nothing up here in this line. So that means all we can take out is a 5. So let's move that over to the side here. 5. Okay, what else can we take out? Well, we can't take out a 2 because there's no 2 in this last line right here. And we can't take out a 3 because there's no 3 in this top line right here. Or in this line right here. So what we can take out is a C here, and a C here, and a D here, and a D there, and a D there. So we're going to drag those over. So we're going to have 5 times C times D. So if we combine those together, we're going to be left with 5CD. Okay, so now we're just going to work down here. We're going to rewrite our equation. So we have negative 20c4d minus 30c cubed d squared minus 25cd. Okay, and we're going to bring down this 5cd so that we can work on it down here. So from this point, we need to get to dividing. So let's take it term by term. We're going to do negative 20c4d divided by 5cd. Okay, and I forgot to mention we have to start our bracket over here with that 5cd. Start your bracket. So we know negative 20 divided by 5 is going to be negative 4. And if we divide our c's, we have c to the 4 divided by c to the 1. Remember our exponent rules. This is going to be 4 minus that implied 1. So that's going to be 4c cubed. And then the d's here, they're going to cancel. All right. So our next term here we're going to work with is, we're going to change colors for you, negative 30c cubed d squared. We're going to divide that again by 5cd. Okay, so negative 30 divided by 5 is going to give us negative 6. Now again, remember our exponent rules. We have c cubed divided by c to the 1. So you're going to 3 minus 1, so this is going to give us c squared. Now we have d to the 2 divided by d to the 1. And again, remember those exponent rules. We're going to do 2 minus 1. We're left over with 1d. Okay, and our last term we have to work with here is negative 25cd divided by 5cd. Now we know negative 25 divided by 5 is going to give us negative 5. And our c's are going to cancel and our d's are going to cancel. So all we're going to be left is this right here. So negative 20c4d minus 30c cubed d squared minus 25cd can be factored to 5cd multiplied by negative 4c cubed minus 6c squared d minus 5. Thanks for watching, and I hope that helps you guys out.